How you doing, my friends? It's Cubby. It's the crazy ass newbie channel. Welcome. I just wanted to point out, I just wanted to start in a new direction again, just simply by asking, how many of you know what a dead man's insurance is? Dead peasant insurance is sometimes used as shorthand reference for life insurance policies that insure companies rank and file employees and name the company as the beneficiary. This means that the company receives the life insurance benefits when the covered employees die. This insurance may also be called janitor insurance. I need to talk to you about this dead man peasants. It is a fucking disgusting fiasco. It is grotesque what they are doing. There are people out there working for corporations like Walmart, Hershey's, many of them out there. And they have the audacity, which it's not even legal from my understandings. There was a clause put out so corporations who have valuable employees that were way up in the CO level be able to put an insurance policy on them, being that they're so valuable. But suddenly, the twist of the laws and the way the corporations were, they were able to imply that on everyday average people. There are people at places like Walmart who work every day of their lives. And if you follow the history, this follows all the ways back to the days of slavery, when they forced this crap upon, where the owners of these people, these human beings, were forced to go out into the fields and work themselves to the death. And if they were lucky enough to have them die between 1 and a 7-year period, hey, they win. It's a win-win for the slave owners of that time. Now we are further into the future of this time and day and age, and we're seeing the same thing on a legal aspect. There are people who pass away working at these places, and families who can't even cover the bills of the medical that had taken place when the death had occurred. Dead man or dead peasant insurance. It is disgusting, it is grotesque, and it should not be allowed. So I'm here to share this knowledge with you. I know there are people that are already aware of this, but there are still many that are not. It is wrong. It is legally wrong, and yet they still are able to do this, making fortunes off of the backs of the people. It disgusts me when I know that there are people out there suffering financially, and they make the money on the backs. Not the families who need it the most, but these pieces of shit, disgusting, fucking rotten hell, you pieces of shit corporation. Fuckers, man, how dare you do this, you know? People who are so bad off and that need the help by their government, and the government is allowing the corporations to fuck the people over. I'm tired of seeing people being treated as cows. We're cattle, my friends. We're simple fucking cattle. So let's get an understanding of this, a complete and clear picture of what you're going through as an employee for them to put a life insurance policy on you. Well, while you're working for them, it's a conflict of interest. You're worth more to them dead than alive. How does that make you feel? Does not seem like a conflict of interest? When that skid of car batteries fell and almost crushed your head that day, they would have laughed all the ways to the bank. Your family wouldn't have benefited. Nobody you know, nobody you love would have benefited. But secretly behind your back, Walmart would have been woohoo, because they would have been just already beyond money. And that little chump change, a nickel added to their bank account, that's what it would appear in comparison, you know, that they have so much money. And this is what they're doing. This is a conflict of interest. This is a scary motherfucking... I mean, you start to look further in and you learn stories of people who had gone through this, who only worked for a company for a short period of time. The company put that policy on them. In one instance of story, I'd learned this gentleman was going to die, they had heard. Well, he didn't die. He lasted another 10 years, but as soon as they had learned that, they got him to sign the papers, and then they fired and canned his ass months later, right? Within a very short period of time. He survived another 10 years or something. When he passed away, the story I understand is that the company, that insurance company that was supposed to send the money to whatever the corporation was, accidentally sent it to the widow. $300 and something thousand check appeared up in her mail. She fought it. I understand she did win it, or a portion of it, and later they came back and took the money that she had won by fighting her in court again and taken that from her too. So in the end, she received nothing at all. Walmart got fat on the backs of that poor gentleman. So understand this, my friends. They can put a policy on you for working for them for just 2 months, a month, whatever. If they hear that you're dying, watch them jump on the bandwagon and help you with your insurance policy or something of that nature. And they'll call it a company insurance policy. You thinking you're getting an insurance policy, but find out the company has got one on you. So that even if you don't die within the period that you've been working with them, 10 years have gone by and you pass away, they keep paying the premiums of that policy long after you're no longer an employee and make a fortune when you pass away, even though they're not even family. They're nobody. They're a nobody to each and one of us, but they're making a fortune. I mean, if they're capable of doing this, don't you think it's kind of fair that a percentage even should go to the people, the families, the wives, the children, the people who need it, instead of fattening up those fucking wallets in the back asses of whoever corporations that are doing this? This is so wrong. I can't even believe I'm having to state that it's wrong. I can't believe we live in a time and period where this is even allowed. I know it's allowed in the United States. I am not for certain that it goes on in Canada, but I pretty much can guarantee. And my wife was an employee of Walmart for 15 years about. She made it all the ways to management positions and that before she went on to another company. And for fuck's sakes, man, all I can think of is these fucking pieces of shit. We have no idea or no way to prove, because there is a protection in the law that they're allowed to keep this secretive. The only thing that you can know is that they do have the clause. You don't know if you follow into that, if you've been signed into it as an employee. I think you all should be sickened by this knowledge. And I'm going to give you a list of all the fucking companies that are doing this to all you employees. Let you know that you are worth more dead than alive. And I would really be questioning their safety policies if accidents are happening a little bit too much. And I want to tell you that there was a cancer cluster in that Walmart my wife worked. There are numerous people who have passed away from the cancers, from apparently the asbestos. Walmart decided now, or later on in the date, to purchase their own buildings and build them on their own lands. And they've done that over the years. But when they first came to Canada, they incorporated themselves into other stores that folded up thanks to them. And after going in and, killing off the other companies and taking their place and whatnot, in this one particular building, apparently it had a quite amount of asbestos, from my understanding. Is that the cause of the cancer? Probably, but people weren't there very long. Walmart wasn't even there very long. So I don't know, but I can guess and guarantee that Walmart made money off the deaths of each and every one of those people. And they're probably very cleared conscience, because it's a corporation. Each individual even working in there is probably not fully aware or don't give a shit, because they probably have one on themselves. It's a sick world, my friends. How did it get the name Dead Peasant Insurance? Winn-Dixie bought life insurance policies on approximately 36,000 of its employees without their knowledge or consent, and named itself as the policy's beneficiary. The insurance brokerage firm that placed the policies prepared 2 memos describing the deceased employees as dead peasants. These memos were part of the court's record in a lawsuit in which the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit held that Winn-Dixie's policies were a sham transaction for federal income tax purposes. The memos were later used by reporters such as Ellen Schultz and Theo Francis of the Wall Street Journal and L.M. Sixel of the Houston Chronicle, and incorporated into articles about this type of insurance. How does one know if the company that they're working for, corporation, has a policy on them? It is often difficult for a person to learn whether he or she was covered by a dead peasant policy. These insurance programs became popular during the mid-1980s and have been an available investment opportunity for large companies since that time. Prior to 2006, however, there was no federal law that required employees to disclose the policies to insured employees. Any disclosed requirements that existed before 2006 were only through state laws, which were ignored in many insurances. So the only way a person could learn about the policies was through the employer's voluntary disclosure. Voluntary disclosure. Isn't that insane? That means if the company doesn't feel like telling you, so be it. And when you pass on, it seems like those who are up in the area of the corporation, the board members who have put the insurance policies on you, they benefit from your death. So they don't want you maimed, they want you dead. How sick is this? How conflict of interest is this? You only hope that they use the safety that they should in these matters of where you're working and how and what you're doing. But then you start to think, all these P tests that are popping up and have popped up and been around for the numerous years is a scapegoat availability of Joe Blow who decided to have a beer at lunch or a sip of wine, which will not, in most of all cases, ever affect the work or whatever it is that they're going to do. But that is now in their blood system, so it is a scapegoat for any accident that would normally happen. They have a blood test that is taken to see if that person does have any drugs or medication of sorts in their bloodstream, which is, in my opinion, a very huge scapegoat. I mean, think about the cannabis users and the fact that it's in your system for up to 30 days. How fucking ridiculous is this when you start to know that it is seriously just a legal loophole for them to be able to, when an accident occurs, take no responsibility. Because if that person has smoked cannabis a week ago even, they've got their way out. Hey, that accident would not have happened had you not put that substance in your body. Which employers has bought policies on their employees? And are you one of them? And how do you find out? Because a company's purchase of insurance policies is not a public record, it is virtually impossible to know every company that invested in policies on employees' lives. The following companies, however, are believed to have been named as the beneficiary of life insurance policies on employees.